Christmas is coming a day early for astronomers. This Christmas Eve, the most powerful space telescope ever invented will be launched. The James Webb Telescope is over 20 years in the making, and scientists are saying it could be a time machine for galaxies. And joining us now with more are Wendy Freedman, professor of astronomy and astrophysics at the University of Chicago, and Mark Hammergren, an astronomer and planetary scientist at Farther Horizons. Welcome both of you to Chicago tonight. Mark Hammergren, this telescope has been in production or planning since 1996 at a cost of $10 billion or more. Tell us why this has been such a long, drawn-out, and expensive project.
Well, quite simply, this is the most complex piece of machinery that I think NASA has ever built and hopes to put into space. There are millions of pieces and components that all have to work together perfectly. It's not just a matter of buying things, it's a matter of designing and building and assembling and testing. So everything has to work perfectly.
And Wendy Freedman, give us a sense of how much on pins and needles scientists are right now as this telescope is going to be launched into orbit on Christmas Eve, given all the things that have to go right for it to work.
Yeah, and NASA is saying that there are 340, more than 340 possible single point failures. And so to give you one example, this thing is going to be launched in a rocket. It's going to fly by the moon. And then you have to deploy a solar array and then a sun shield, which will protect the telescope, keep it cool. And this sun shield has 5 layers. It is the size of a tennis court, and each one of the layers is the width of a human hair or less. And so everything has to spring out, roll out and spring out into place. And if it doesn't, the telescope doesn't work. So it's nerve-wracking. It's incredibly exciting, but it's really nerve-wracking.
And once this gets launched into orbit, of course, the purpose here is to look at galaxies far, far, far away. Mark Hammergren, what potentially could be seen through this new telescope?
Well, the distant universe is one of the focuses of work by this telescope. And so by looking in the distant universe, you can also look back in time. So astronomers have a time machine with any kind of telescope. And the better the telescope, the further back you can look. Hopefully, we can get a good picture of the very early stages of things like the formation of galaxies, the era of formation of the first stars. That'll be just a fantastic thing to look at. And then more nearby, looking at extrasolar planets, planets around other stars, finding them, yeah, maybe characterizing them, figuring out what they're made of and what their atmospheres are made of. That would be fantastic.
Wendy Freedman, what kinds of discoveries are you looking forward to possibly being privy to with this telescope?
Well, I think the ones Mark has just mentioned are fantastic. I mean, we will look at the cosmic dawn, and there's even a possibility, it's remote, but a possibility that we could find evidence for life on another planet. For my own research, our group is trying to understand the universe and how fast it's expanding and whether or not we understand all of the components that describe the evolution of our universe. And so this fantastic new machine with its high sensitivity, high resolution will offer us a glimpse of the universe in a way that we have never had access to before. So any region, any area of astronomy right now, if you talk to an astronomer, there's something that I think will be there from James Webb. And anytime astronomers have built new telescopes, which is why I think you're hearing this excitement from us, we've made new discoveries in astronomy when we get new technical capability and a new facility like this. So it's just tremendously exciting for all areas in astronomy.
And Mark Hammergren, you both mentioned that this can look way, way back into the past, millions, if not billions of years, galaxies that were perhaps formed right after the Big Bang. What can we take away from this to learn about our own planet, our own solar system, our own Milky Way galaxy?
Yeah, I think you've really hit the heart of what we hope to get from astronomy in general, is by exploring the universe, by looking at our own solar system, we gain a better insight into our own place in the universe. So not just in terms of practical things like cheaper gasoline or something like that, but the big questions that humans have wondered about ever since there have been humans. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Are we alone out there? And this telescope may give us a better view, a better answer to some of these questions than we've had before.
Wendy Freedman, you mentioned you're going to be looking at how fast the universe is expanding, or whether we need to change our idea of that. Is there anything that might be revealed about the Big Bang that to this point hasn't?
Well, to this point, we understand that the universe is expanding. We've learned in the last couple of decades that the universe is filled with a substance called dark matter, matter that doesn't shine, doesn't emit light, and a form of dark energy that's causing the universe to speed up in its expansion. And the way that we test what we now call the standard model for describing the evolution of the universe is to make really accurate measurements of this expansion rate. And so we have hints that maybe we're missing something in this current model. And the James Webb Space Telescope will have the capability to allow us to make more accurate measurements and see, are we missing something? And that, I think, will be very exciting.
All right, very exciting Christmas for scientists and astronomers upcoming. Fingers crossed for this mission. And our thanks to Wendy Freedman and Mark Hammergren.